Hello there, and welcome to Weird Music on the Glumburger channel, show where we review stuff. Could be absolutely anything, right? No shit from the middle of nowhere. So what are we looking at today? Well, we are looking at some of the most nonsense shit I have ever reviewed on this channel, I feel. Without a doubt, probably one of the shortest releases I've tried to review on this show. How that'll pan out, who knows. But, any case, the story goes as follows. So this tape was sent to me by the curator of Liquid Library as part of a mystery box of cassettes that you can purchase from their Bandcamp. So when I came across this and listened to it for the first time, I knew I should try review it because it's too funny, it's too dumb, and it's just absolute nonsense. I don't know how coherent this is all going to be. Music certainly is incoherent, so maybe that'll work out, but who knows? I think it'll just be funny. So, without further ado, I present 34,400 Litres by Piss Drinker. Right, so, who are Piss Drinker? Well, this took a little bit of digging actually, but I think I've got it figured out. Essentially what I can glean is that Piss Drinker is a three-person band, a supergroup, if you will, of three of the best noise musicians in the Southwest, apparently. Consisting of one, Will, from the acts Plague Pit and Acts of Worship, Alina from Distraxy, and Isaac from Echotage, Punch On, Beheading, and Uncertainty, as well as a bunch of others. None of these acts I've ever come across, but maybe we'll look into in a future video, who knows. Anyway, Piss Drinker, a band who, on a poster for a live show in Bristol, actually described themselves as Bristol Noise Supergroup. Like the Garogari gay, but gay. Mouthful to say there. I think that's all we need to know though, right? So, what are you even reviewing here? Well, we're taking a dive into 34,400 Litres, a 7-minute live set of pure, unfiltered, unmastered, raw, dirty, and aesthetically unpleasing noise. Yes, this is the sounds of people just playing as loud and fast as possible, just angry, dirty music that feels like it's completely drenched in piss, right? So, in regards to the actual release, we have actually little to no information. Bandcamp tells us nothing apart from the title, name of the track, and a singular note reading, Piss Drinker, live at the Cube, Bristol. 34,400 litres of piss, and a cover of Hash Pipe by Weezer. So, not information that's available on the cassette here, we'll get to this in a bit actually, but who needs to know anyway? What difference does it make? So, why review this? Well, as mentioned, was browsing the record label Liquid Library, a strange cassette label based in Bristol, and I saw their option to purchase a bunch of mystery cassettes. So, alongside a cassette by Carnivorous Plants, which I have right here, which will be coming up in a future review sometime, but regardless, I thought I would purchase some of the mystery cassettes and see what I'd get myself in for. Anyway, you can guess what happened, so as mentioned. Purchased the mystery box, I accepted the mystery,
Accept the mystery.
went with the box.
What's in this box?
The box.
The box.
And got the dud.
You got the dud!
I was gifted the live performance of Piss Drinker on physical media. Amazing. I think that's really, really funny. This beaten up, broken down lo-fi cassette featuring the classic Liquid Library aesthetic of folded up envelopes with everything written in pen. Broken, in a proper broken down back of the shed DIY work here, right? And as well, I should mention another unique element to this physical release is the fact that this brown paper envelope has had yellow crayons scribbled all over it. Weird, a little bit sticky, and probably maybe too referential to the titular piss, perhaps, but I appreciate it nonetheless. But yes, I actually adore that this thing exists, because it's like a small time portal to a dirty stage. A band, all ready to just perform their live show. And for how horrible, noisy, nonsensical, and downright ugly this whole thing is, it's a wonderful document of just sound occurring like this for a few minutes, and everyone having a great time doing so. So let's explore it. So, I think with how long this is all going to be, we might just have to start the music again. No, it's not going to matter. Let's just start it all again from the beginning. So let's discuss what we're hearing then. Essentially, what we have to open this is a little weird sample to open up the track. Two people discussing piss.
Hey, what are you guys doing up here? Your Neff hat. I think we promoted that on our show last night. What's the Neff hat?
It's part of the whole piss campaign. We're just trying to get the word out, as much piss as we can eat and drink and collect.
Now, piss is liquor?
No, it's urine.
Are you sure? Because that seems like, that doesn't seem... You've been watching the movie Dune too much, where they recycle their own urine, I believe.
I haven't seen that movie.
A simply, a nonsensical conversation of pure nonsense, perhaps, until the lo-fi squad to guitar distortion just overloads the headphone at this really quiet level, letting the drums just go thunk, 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 which lets the vocalist just start screaming and screaming. And essentially, that is the recording. You just get this weird, intense, unhinged noise performance where the frenetic blast beats occur over the screaming. This wretched, strangled voice just shouting and wail, and it is awful, right? A performance that's designed to completely just overload you with this freak-out kind of noise music. Like, it's all incomprehensible. Like, you can barely hear what the guitar is doing half the time, and the distortion has just been turned up to the max, resulting in a maelstrom of noise and feedback that sounds like nothing tangible. It's the equivalent of perhaps playing your guitar through some kind of industrial fan, perhaps, where nothing sounds even remotely musical. It truly does not matter, for it's also formless and chaotic that there's no need to even adhere to structure, even if there is one. However, you do get some changes here and there. It's roughly 2.5 minutes. You get a pause and a deluge of feedback as the drums just starts playing a slower beat, right? Not what I was expecting when I first heard this recording, but around it, the guitar just creates all this noise around it into something a bit more drony and cool sounding. Still far too lo-fi to make the details out of, but something that actually sounds tangibly like a musical performance almost, or at least musical in the sense of what I like in music, which is just noisy drone stuff. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but it's interesting that it's there. But then from there, you get a weird little build of musical noise, one that swells up to a tumultuous size before a single drum, beat just occurs, lets it all fade away, creating space to go right back into that frenetic noise once. And it is like being thrown right back into the eye of the storm here, into that brutalist world that this horrible album is creating. Like, it all just sounds like more of the same again. And I find myself baffled, as it's all completely incomprehensible, just unhinged and formless. Just more of the drums smashing about, more of the guitars wildly oscillating with the noise and feedback, and more of that same screaming and screaming. I wrote down in my notes here, this is me trying to comprehend the structuring of this performance here. I think it's at the end here. Apparently, as mentioned in the liner notes, we'll have a cover of Weezer's Hash Pipe, right? Now, I don't know all that much about Weezer, truth be told, but I'm pretty sure their song doesn't sound like this, right? Also, I can't even properly discern where the hell it is on this recording. Like, it's there, maybe it's that final performance, but I honestly don't know. I don't know how to really get into what this really is. I have to say, though, the ending is very funny here, because the audience who have just been cheering and screaming the whole way through this 7-minute onslaught, you just get one guy right at the end just screaming, "Do it again." Like, I can appreciate how these people are just enjoying the spectacle of this manic, unhinged, unlistenable performance by Piss Drinker. A frenetic explosion of fast noise rock that's playing as fast and noisily as possible. Like, it's crazy because there's not really anything here, and there's nothing to really review here. And yet I want to talk about it because it's really funny. Like, this 7-minute live show that's been committed to tape for the whole world to enjoy, right? And we can now know about it as, purveyors of this weird music series, because the owner of Liquid Library decided to make it one of the mystery cassettes that was sent to me. Why? I don't know. I am baffled by the fact. Kind of amazed, incredibly amused by it though. In fact, I was actually so baffled. I tried to get some assistance with this review to help sort of consolidate some points, but it turns out nobody wanted to help me with this one. Gee, I wonder why, right? So, I'm on my own. So, a summary of this thing. I'm reminded so much of the early years of the Gay, right? Mostly because it's one of the only instances that I've heard of just short blasts of noise, that we've covered on the channel at least. I don't think we've looked at much else that comes close. There will be a review coming out about Naked City, kind of covers a bit of that, but for now, we're looking at this. And this is just noise, because that's all it wants to be. 7 minutes of unrelenting noise that results in a very overwhelming experience. I think it's funny, of course, as mentioned. I think it's weird and hilarious. Like, I always try to imagine the really weird scenario where these, 3 people all decided to hang out and all came up with the idea to perform a live show of absolutely chaotic nonsense, bombard the audience with their set of their ferocious and horrible music, but then just leave it at that. It's a very weird scenario. So dumb and stupid, but the sheer joy that's evidently coming from this performance from both the band members and the audience, hard to ignore, I think. And it's evident that the audience, and the band, they're just actually having a good time indulging in this nonsense. And I think there's something cool about that. Listening to this short set of recordings, it gives me a sense of community and a sense of camaraderie, of like-minded individuals coming together just to have a bit of a laugh and have some fun, just watching this pantomime act of pissery. Like, not a single element of this thing is taking itself seriously, and I like that, I appreciate that. I like that it exists simply for what it is, and nothing more, just a depraved, unhinged performance for some weird people. And then the fact that it's been transferred to this physical tape, like, let's be honest, the recording quality is horrible. There's no clarity, no details, just nothing. And putting it on a cassette is not exactly going to give it high fidelity, right? But who cares? Who gives a shit? These people certainly don't. They're just having a great time going, over and over and over again, because that's what they wanted to do for their set, and it was decided then that exact performance should have a physical release. And then that was decided to be randomly sent to me as part of the mystery set. Like, it's stupid to try to review it because it's so impossibly short and pointless, but I honestly don't care. These guys don't, and neither do I. I just think it's so funny and just a testament to nonsense itself that it's worth just exploring, because sometimes we have to realise we shouldn't take ourselves so seriously sometimes, It's okay to just have a laugh, make some noise, make some nonsense, and do that. And I think this album, as awful as it is, really embodies that spirit, and I really appreciate for that, Even when what you're making is just an unholy mental racket of barely listenable noise that can barely be described as music. Fair to play for Troy. And so, I think with that we'll be coming to the end of our episode of Weird Music. Like, I don't know what else to say about this one. The band ostensibly, it doesn't really feel like it exists. So it's hard to really talk about this properly, and this release doesn't really feel like anything proper. But it does exist as a physical release, as music that you can go listen to. Therefore, it's eligible to review on the show, right? And for all intents and purposes, you can go and listen to this if you want to. Go and support it. Go and buy your own physical copy for whatever reason. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know why you would go to choose this record. It's oddly interesting if you want to be bombarded by noise for 7 minutes, because then at least it will do that. But for me, I think it's just the humour aspect that I adore about this, and just, as well, unhinged performance they do as well. Like, it, you know, I'm hoping that you watching, you can appreciate the humour of this one, right? But yeah, it's like, the titular Juno would say, it's just noise, alright? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode with music. Not sure how this review is going to come out in editing, but you know what, it's fine. It's going to be what it is. Check out, the one and only release by Piss Drinker in the description below, then why not? For now, I wish you all the best. Take care, and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.